CRC Hungarian Grand Prix preview stream, and today it's going to be a bit of an explanation as to why on earth I am doing a preview stream. I'm James. I'm sure most of you know me, but yeah, I'm a guest on this preview stream quite regularly, and basically for this week I am going to be running the first 3 days of this weekend. So Thursday, Friday and Saturday are all going to be run by me, and Sunday is going to be done by Matt as usual. But he's on holiday, so I'm having to run these first 3 days, and as part of that I thought it'd be good if I just explain what's going to happen over the weekend, because it's obviously going to be quite a lot different, and there's going to be a few changes as well on how it's being broadcasted for these first 3 days. But race day, if you just watch the races, then that will be the same as usual, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this and just explain what's happening. So as I said, I'm doing the first 3 days, and I haven't got access to the Child Car Racing YouTube channel, which is used for CRC for the streams, and then Matt uses his own account for qualifying and for the race. But all the other sessions are on the Child Car Racing YouTube channel, and they will be on there but not live, because what's going to happen is I'm going to stream on the Twitch account, because that is all I have access to. As I said, I don't have access to the YouTube, but I have access to this. And what I'm going to do is I can export it from the Twitch to the YouTube, but obviously it's not going to be live, it's going to be exported afterwards. So for all of the live action this weekend, go to the Twitch. You might be watching on the Twitch now, or you might be watching this on YouTube, and then you'll know that this weekend's action on Thursday, Friday and Saturday will all be on the Twitch, okay? And then if you want to catch up afterwards, then I'll hopefully be able to export it onto the YouTube channel. And now I'm just going to run you through the times. There's a little bit of a change in times, because although I can do the first 3 days, I can't do Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, so there's been a bit of a change to the schedule. There it is. On Thursday at 4:30 we have CRC FP1 and CGP2 practice at 5:30. Okay, so that is going to be done. I'll be still probably getting used to running the sessions. I've done a few practice attempts, and there's a few things I'm still unsure about, but hopefully I'll be able to run those sessions all right. And I'll have Luke Julian will be there commentating with me as well. So that is Thursday's plan, just the 2 sessions in the afternoon. Friday is going to be CRC FP2, CGP2 qualifying and CGP3 practice, and that will be at 9, 10 and 11 respectively. So tune in every hour for some action, and then we get into the serious stuff on Saturday, and Saturday is going to be split into 2 sessions, Saturday morning and Saturday night. CGP3 qualifying is at 9, CRC FP3 is at 10, and CRC Classics qualifying is at 11 o'clock. So again, 9, 10, 11 in Saturday morning, and then I'll be back to just wrap up the events that I haven't done so far, and this is getting into the business end. We have CRC qualifying at 8:15. There might be a slight delay on that, but I will let you know basically if there's any changes in that, but at the moment it's scheduled for 8:15. Then at 20 to 10 we have the CGP2 feature race, and then we have the CGP3 race 1 at 5 to 11. So very, very late end, but it's unfortunately the only way we can get in all these sessions in time. So yeah, there we go. That is the schedule. I'll leave it up for just a few more seconds, so if you need to screenshot it or something, you can do that. But yeah, that is basically the schedule, and that is what I'm going to be running at. And then Sunday, I'm not sure what Sunday's going to be like, but this is everything that's going to be on the Twitch. Okay, this is everything that's going to be on the Twitch, and I'm sure Matt will announce what time everything on Sunday is going to be. But that is the schedule for the Twitch channel, which I will be doing, and then hopefully I'll get it all onto YouTube afterwards as well. But now I'm just going to do my quick run through, actually make it a preview stream, because usually in these preview streams we run through all the championships and everything, but I'm just going to do that now, because I've obviously had to explain everything first. But first of all, we'll go to the CRC driver standings, and it is Alex Moores who leads the championship by 16 points, 118 points to 102 to Will Leslie. I haven't got this up on the screen, so you'll have to bear with me. And try and pay attention enough to get the gist of it. But basically, Alex Moores now leads the championship from Will Leslie. The two Jan Sorokas have been relatively inconsistent over the season, but in the last 3 races, Canada, Valencia and Great Britain, Alex Moores has won, and Will Leslie has only got 24 points in those 3 races, with a second in Canada, but then a non-score in Valencia and only 6 points in Great Britain. He had a 10th place grid penalty and struggled to make up positions, and actually had another crash as well in the race. So Will Leslie has been crashing into pretty much everything at the moment. Luckily he got a time penalty rather than a grid penalty, which would have ruined another one of his weekends. But he is in serious danger of getting a race ban now with all these penalty points he's picked up. And he's lost the championship lead. So Will Leslie is now 16 points behind. Chantel Hawke and Toby Jones are in that battle at the moment for 3rd place. Chantel Hawke is quite a long way ahead actually now, 11.5 points ahead of Toby Jones, and then it's another 7.5 points back to Hannah Duran in 3rd in that second Dork, the teammate of Hawke. And then it's the other Master Force, Jones's teammate Milliner, who is 12 points back from Duran. So it's reasonably spread out there actually, in that from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th is all quite spread out. Milliner having a few good results and will probably be retained for next season now. There were doubts over whether he'd be retained. He should now be retained, and that's obviously been helped by his results and by the fact that Toby Jones is going to Coombs GP for next season. Interesting move. Master Force on the up, Coombs GP on the down, but Matthew Tusson is leaving Coombs, so it's likely to be Coombs and Jones at Coombs GP next year, with Tusson going somewhere else. But that's interesting because Matt Coombs is 7th in the championship. He's the highest Coombs GP car. They really have been struggling this season. It just hasn't really worked out for them. Matt Coombs is on 43 points. He had a 5th place finish in Great Britain, which was actually his only 3rd point scoring event. So really hasn't been good for Coombs. The race pace has been okay, but they've been so far behind in qualifying. And they've had a lot of failures as well in terms of reliability. Another person who's been quite inconsistent is 8th placed Kieran Hardy in the Guindana. He's again only had 3 points finishes, and he's on 41 points. So that battle down for 6th in the championship between Milliner, Coombs, Hardy, and then probably Woodward, Tusson and Buchan as well, are all quite close. 11 points only separate them. So as I mentioned there, the Scuderia Baronassos of Woodward and Buchan are 9th and 11th, with Tusson in between in 10th. So that's all the front runners. That's all the people that we expect at the front, who have been challenging for podiums over the season. It's quite interesting how it's played out so far, and it'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend. I reckon this could be quite a good track for Baronasso and Dork, and that's because they're using the Dork engines, which aren't as good. But you rely less on engines around here. And then we run through the rest. Humphreys is 12th in the RTS. The RTS isn't that competitive, but he had that 25 points in Malaysia. Then it's Mungle, Baldwin. Mungle in the Tove having a good season. Baldwin disappointing in the other Guindana, teammates with Hardy. Then it's Quintalina. Max Rondegala, who's been confirmed for the rest of the season at CGP Racing. got sacked from DMAD. Well, not sacked, he got loaned out from DMAD when Dan Phillips returned from loan from CGP. They gave Rondogala to CGP in kind of reparation to taking Phillips off him, and they've now confirmed him for the rest of the season. So Rondogala has now left. He's had a good few results at CGP Racing. He'll be looking to continue on. David Bland is 17th in the other Tove, a long way behind Mungle, but still getting a few points. RTS Morrow is 18th. Then Phillips, who will be now racing for DMAD. He spent the last 2 races on the sidelines just doing FP1 for DMAD. But now he's going to properly race for DMAD, and obviously after missing 2 rounds he's down in 19th in the standings. Then it's the Mossets of Williams and Moores, disappointing seasons for them. Minto has 2 points in the other CGP. Then Blakemore, who stood in for 2 races for DMAD, he's done for the season, got 2 points. Kerry Ann Peace has the 1 point for Wheelspin Lockey. And then Tom Farrar-Smith has no points for Wheelspin Lockey, and Shantana, HWR and Speedtech are yet to score. So there we go, that is the driver standings in CRC. We'll go on to the constructors quickly, just run you through that in positions. It goes Yana Taroka, Dork, Masterforce, Coombs, Baronasso, Gindana, RTS, Tove, DMAD Engineering, CGP Racing, Mossett, Wheelspin, and then the 3 non-scorers are Shantana, HWR and Speedtech. So I know I ran through that pretty quickly, but the constructors is obviously changing by the round at the moment. With the reliability not being so good, you get to these points where certain teams can have very good races. But at the moment it does seem like Masterforce and Dork are in that very close battle. They are definitely the 2nd and 3rd quickest teams behind Yana Taroka. And then Coombs, Baronasso and Gindana, they've got the potential to fight for podiums, but they're just that little bit further down. You can tell that by the constructors, with them being 4th, 5th and 6th. And I would imagine Tove will overtake RTS for 7th, because Tove will be more consistent. RTS have got a lot of points in a few races in Monaco and Malaysia, and DMAD look pretty solid in 9th. Now on to CGP2, which will also be running this weekend. First, a quick announcement that Jordan Byers will not be racing this weekend for Perfection Motorsports. It will be Grace Wilkinson instead, and she joins Harry Herdman in that CGP2 car. And Phoebe O'Connor leads the standings. 2 wins in Monaco and consistency have brought her a 32-point gap. She is on 142 points, then 110 points for the Amlin Fox pair of Leggett and O'Driscoll, who will be interested by the fact that they could be racing in CRC next season. Manic Motorsports, who are behind the Amlin Fox team in CGP2, have announced that they will be taking over Shantana next season in CRC. And there could be a place for Leggett and O'Driscoll in that if they keep performing in CRC. So they could end up in CRC next season with Manic Motorsport, the new team. And then it's Beaumont and Bayliss in the 2 Coombs that are 4th and 5th at the moment, with Quinn Bayliss picking up a good win in Britain. He's won 2 sprint races this year, so he'll be looking to continue in that way. Beaumont has 96 and Quinn Bayliss has 94. And those are probably the only people that are going to be challenging for the title. Everyone else is quite a long way down now, quite a long way behind this. The next person's on 80, and that's Ellen Oakley. And then there's another 12-point gap down to 7th, which is James Lang. And now we're going to go on to CGP3 as well. I'm not going to bother with the constructors for the support series. We'll just go to CGP3. We have more news again on driver changes. Just Jay McParland will be swapping with Joe O'Loughlin. So O'Loughlin will go from CGP Racing to Hyperspeed, and McParland from Hyperspeed to CGP Racing. And Niran Yusufu will be going to D-Tech Racing Team, taking over from Matt Jones for the rest of the season. And in the championship for CGP3, we have an interesting thing. Jeffrey's moved to CGP Racing, won in Valencia, was going to win in Great Britain, but then span and then had an engine failure. So he has now lost 20 points He's 20 points behind now, and should be leading the championship comfortably, but it's Wimberley on 80 points who leads the way, and Daniel McDonald on 71. So Jeffries on 60 will be chasing, will be hoping to chase them down, and you can't count out Ollie Charlton and Jack Moss in those MATs as well. MAT have been quite good this season. They're on 59 and 55 points, so 25 points separate the top 5. Those are probably going to be the people who are going to be fighting for the championship in CGB3. And recently it has been Jeffries' domination, so I would expect him to win if he doesn't have any problems. But you never know. Things could change. It could be a shake-up in the order. McDonald has been very quick over the last few races as well, with a win in Great Britain and a second in Valencia. So he's always been the man behind Jeffries. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a bit of a whistle-top tour of all of the standings. Again, yeah, sorry I couldn't get it on the screen. But if I had done it, it wouldn't have been readable. Unfortunately, you couldn't have read the championship, and typing it out would have taken ages. So unfortunately, I have to really go through it by talking. I hope you've got it. I've tried to make it as short as possible, and I might seem a little bit rushed. But I've tried to go through it as quickly as possible. Just bring up the schedule one more time. There you go. And yeah, it starts on Thursday. And yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a go, and hopefully I can run it well for the first few days. But remember, everything's going to be on Twitch, and then I'll put it on YouTube afterwards. But if you want it live, it's all going to be on the Twitch. So follow all the action at twitch.tv/Child Car Racing. Anyway, I'll see you all on Thursday at 4:30, and I'll be joined by Luke Julian in the commentary box. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.